Hello, parents and carers of Year 5 children. I'm extremely sorry that this evening's planned virtual workshop could not take place. Unfortunately, I had a very last-minute family emergency at the point at which we were due to start. So apologies for that. I thought I would film the presentation now for you to absorb and consider this opportunity for your Year 5 children. We're really, really excited to be planning this opportunity for the children. And you're well aware that we're working hard to make Meadows magnificent and to have a wide and varied curriculum offer for our children. You'll also be aware that we this year have introduced a new residential series of progressive opportunities for our children. That includes a Year 3 camp night, a Year 4 3-day, 2-night residential, and a Year 6 trip to Arthog. But you will also be aware that your children in Year 5 and have somewhat dodged or missed out on those opportunities. But they will be going to Arthog in Year 6. So this is an offer from our school to support your child in A, having a wonderful adventure and opportunity, but B, preparing for Year 6 Arthog by having a night away from home in a somewhat different circumstance. Some children will have had many experiences such as this, and others maybe not. But we hope, regardless of your situation, it's appreciated because, as you know, we're committed at Meadows to enabling this, our vision, that all children can aspire, grow, and flourish. We want children who say, I can achieve anything I desire, children who will say and believe, I will never give up, and children who will say and believe and do, I have endless potential. And we think this camp night will be a great opportunity to bring that vision to life for your children. We're going to be running this opportunity with the Outdoors People, and you may have seen them in school at the start of this school year. I was so pleased with them. Much like you can see here, 4.9 out of 5 in reviews from schools and a 91% rebooking rate. I have happily rebooked them to give Year 5 this opportunity. They are the country's largest provider of in-school residentials and are very experienced in doing so. This September was our first experience with them, and I was very impressed. So what is the camp going to involve? We are going to have lots of fun, and we're going to make some memorable moments. The camp will launch at approximately 3 o'clock on the first day of the residential with a flag ceremony. We're going to have a blank flag received before the camp night, and Year 5 are going to decorate it and make it their own so that we can claim the field as our campsite. We're going to make our camp. This is a really important part of the opportunity. The children are going to need to work together in teams to create their temporary homes. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those homes later. We're going to have really nice, fun opportunities like playing kinball, as well as many of the other opportunities and activities that we will enjoy. We're going to have on the evening a campfire. We're going to toast some marshmallows. We're going to sing some songs, and so on. In the daytime, we will be participating again in a series of programs and activities. We're going to make a fire. We're going to bake over it, and we're going to take on the Bush Tucker Challenge. For any parents watching I'm a Celebrity there, you can use your imagination on the kind of treats we will be enjoying. We're going to purify water by building our own filters, and we're going to later use that water to make a hot chocolate. We're going to learn some first aid skills, and we're going to work in teams to build den shelters. And we're going to have games and activities that build our teamwork, our communication, our planning, and our initiative. I think this trip is going to test Year 5. It's going to test their values, their resilience, their independence, and it's for those reasons that I would encourage any parent and carer to allow their child this opportunity. Of course, being away from home as well for some will be a big thing, but we need to give them these opportunities earlier rather than later. Who's going to look after your child or children? Excuse me. I will be leading the trip, or the residential as it is, on this occasion. I have over 15 years, despite my youthful appearance, of delivering residentials, and I'm delighted to be able to do this for year five. Mrs. Medger, our deputy head teacher, will be supporting us during the evening up until the late evening and making sure the children are being well looked after. Our senior leader for year five and six, Mrs. Turan, will similarly be supporting, and as will the two year five teachers, Mr. Bradley Duncombe and Mrs. Pritchard. I'm really grateful to those teachers and those grown-ups for giving up their time. I can't pay them to do this, unfortunately, but they want to help and they want to see our children aspire, grow and flourish. And I'm sure you'll join me in thanking them also. There will likely be other adults as well, but I'm going to wait till nearer the time of the trip when I know the numbers and the people, the children who are coming along. Only when I do so will I finalise. And of course, as you would expect, I'll be in touch. It's really important that you know safety is paramount in these opportunities. We want our children to take risks, we want them to have adventures, but of course, we want to look after them. The outdoors people have risk assessments, safety policies, and various insurance documents available. And we've been able to check through their paperwork and, of course, put it to the test in our year three camp night at the start of the year. You can see there that they have the quality badge for the Council for Learning Outside the Classroom. That is a quality mark recommended by the DFE, the Department for Education, which means that they are reaching all the required safety and educational standards. Of course, the camp is also taking place in our school on our field. So children will be supervised and safe and in a location where anything we need will be readily available. A team of instructors will be on site from the outdoors people, and they're highly skilled, highly experienced, and will support us in keeping children safe. How are we going to care for your children as well? Of course, there's more to safety than just safety itself. Well, I want you to know that we will look after your children as if they are our own. I love leading residentials because it enables the children to see the adults that they work with and learn with on a daily basis in a different light and to have some really quality time with them. All of the adults who are supporting your children are also parents and carers themselves. And whilst that doesn't make any difference necessarily, we want you to know that we will look after your children really, really well, as we would wish for our own. All of the activities that we do, including things like the campfire, are risk assessed, and we have, of course, thought about this carefully. The PCSOs will be made aware of our camp night, the fire brigade, and our site security, which visits our school regularly during the night times, will also be informed. That means that we won't have any unnecessary alarms from the fire brigade seeing a fire somewhere on the field, and that the PCSOs will be aware as well and may drive by at times. They certainly did this year for us. We will make sure that the campsite has a glow to it. It won't be pitch black, but then neither might it be at that time of year anyway. But we will have additional lights on site so that children feel safe and that they can see their way around. Members of staff, if they manage to get to sleep, will be awake on a rota, and that means that we're alert and ready to support children should they need it. And of course, we will be telling them about where adults are located so that should they need them in the night, they can ask for that adult's help and support. We will support your children with any concerns you may have. They might have certain nighttime routines, or perhaps even at the age that they are, certain bedtime concerns that at home are dealt with and that you might feel worried about. If you have any concerns like that, simply talk to me. I assure you, I've heard it all before. I've seen it, done it, and got the t-shirt. So there are no bedtime routine concerns that would mean for me that your child cannot attend. Similarly, medicines and routines such as that will be supported. So we're going to make sure that your children have fun, they feel cared for, and that they make the most of this opportunity. Here is some information on some of the activities so that you are aware. There will be shellfish, there will be chocolate, and so on. We will make sure that allergies are checked upon before any of these activities and before the trip itself. But when you fill in the booking form, we're also going to ask you to share any allergies there. So please don't assume we know your child and it's on our system. Please make sure you tell us again. There's no harm in doing so. I will be checking all those booking forms very carefully in advance of the opportunity and the camp night itself. Now, homesickness is something that is quite common in situations like this. But again, it's something that we have to experience in life as we aspire, grow, and flourish. And the reason for doing this, providing this opportunity, is so that RTHOG, should you wish for your child to attend, is not as overwhelming as it may be had that your child never have been away from home. So I've already told you, we're going to look after your children. They will be absolutely fine. And of course, we will have your contact details. But I want to be honest in saying I am highly unlikely to contact you and will only do so if absolutely necessary. It will be avoided. I will only contact you in an emergency. There may be a temptation from some parents and carers to hover near the perimeter of our school to check in, maybe late at night. Please don't do so. It will only cause us concern because we will simply see a shadow in the distance looking into our camp. The positioning of the camp was actually very private last year. Last time we did it. And so I'll be considering that again carefully. But your job is to enable this opportunity for your child and to relax and to know that we will look after them. We're going to make sure we feed your children. They'll be given an afternoon snack after school. There will be fruit available throughout the evening and the next day. And we're going to have an evening outdoors picnic from the Crispy Cod, which is, of course, my favourite part of the evening. We had a lovely time with the year threes doing so, and we will do the same with year five. On your child's booking form is the food options. If you could circle clearly which of the menu options they would prefer, that would be really appreciated. We will have a cereal breakfast and hot dogs in the morning in the school hall, bright and early. And of course, water will be available throughout. We're going to have a hot chocolate in the evening, made around the campfire, and we're even going to have a hot chocolate the next day. However, that one is going to be made from dirty water that we filter ourselves. So that will be an interesting one. In terms of your child's sleep, bedtime routines will be supported, as I've already touched on. So on your child's booking form, if there's anything you want to share about your child's bedtime routines, please don't hesitate. If it is a sensitive matter, share with your child that will be shared with the adults. And that's because we're going to look after them. That will be reassuring to your child. And if I or another member of the team need to talk to them nearer the time, we will. There may also be bedtime issues that are happening at the moment, but of course, this opportunity is still quite a way away. So you can note it down if you wish, but nearer the time, I will catch up with you about any concerns which you share. We're going to make sure bedtime is calm and supportive of the children settling, but we're also not going to be naive and acknowledge that the children are going to want to have some camp night fun. They're going to be chatting, aren't they? And maybe ignoring our requests to go to sleep for a while at least. Mr. P accepts that, and it's all good part of the fun. It would be unreasonable to suggest that they're going to go in their tents, put their heads down, and go to sleep. But we will absolutely be encouraging it once we've had a small period of grace to allow them that fun. The children will sleep in 5 meter bell tents, and they will be in groups of between 8 to 12. We will generate those groups with the children's views in mind, but our decision for the groupings is final. The outdoors people bring pretty much everything to school, but the only thing they don't bring, really, is sleeping bags. So you will need to provide your child with a sleeping bag. We will provide them with a sleeping mat on which the sleeping bag goes, but your child's sleeping bag will be needed. What do the children need to bring? Well, we'll review this nearer the time, and it will be weather depending as well, of course. But there's some ideas there on what we would recommend. It's nice for them to have a torch, for example. It's nice for them to have changes of clothes, of course. We don't need a couple of bin liners for all those smelly socks. They're only staying one night. But a little carrier bag in their bag for their dirty clothes on the first night would be helpful. On the day of the camp night, children who are participating can come into school in their camp clothes for ease. And there you can see at the end, of course, they'll have their sleeping bag, but they'll also need potentially an extra blanket, although I would suggest they won't, a pillow, their teddy, and their drinking bottle. I will be bringing my teddy, all the other teachers will, so I'm sure there won't be any year fives who are too cool for school just yet. We can all bring our teddies on the camp night. I'm sorry, I'm just returning back there to be clear. No devices will be needed or accepted on this opportunity. I'm sure a night away from a device will do our children the world of good. So what now? Well, first of all, we want to give you as much time to pay for this opportunity. We acknowledge that the total cost of £60 is a lot of money, but we appreciate you enabling this opportunity for your child should you wish. The cost of the opportunity covers the staff from the outdoors people, the evening meal, the snacks, and our campfire breakfast the next day. After Friday, the 4th of April, no additional spaces can be allowed. We will need to confirm with the outdoors people the exact amount of children who will be joining in. So please make sure that you pay by Friday, the 4th of April. You might wish to submit the booking form in advance, and you can also chip away at that total through the ScoPay app as you wish. For example, you might like to do £10 a month from now until then, and so on. It's entirely up to you. But if you wish to submit the booking form in advance, please do so. So, you will be sent home a paper copy of the booking form as part of your need to commit to the trip. And on our website, I'm just going to show you it now. If you bear with me. On our school website, if you click on curriculum or hover over curriculum, residential experiences, year 5 camp night, you will see a detailed website page sharing everything I've just shared with you. The introduction letter that you've already received, and the booking form, which is going to be sent home. But there it is for you to see in advance. If you could sign it here and give the name of your child here, and then just simply return it to your child's teacher. There's a parent and carer information form and packing list. The presentation will be here very shortly, and a reminder. And anything else that we add over time will also go here. So I'm going to go back to the presentation, and I'm just going to remind myself that bear with me, that one of the things we will do during the trip as well is communicate to you via Class Dojo. What I will do there is share some pictures and some updates, but be reassured that no news is good news. If we if we're busy looking after your children, we will be busy looking after your children and not necessarily able always to respond to specific messages and so on. A good piece of advice for you as parents and carers when your child is on a residential experience such as this is to remember that no news is good news and that the adults will be busily looking after your children. However, I will do my very best to celebrate and share some of the experiences as they happen. So, this wasn't planned to be a recorded presentation, but as I said, I'm grateful to you for your time and apologise for having an emergency this evening. I will make time available to any parents and carers who have any questions or queries now or nearer the time. You can simply message me on Class Dojo and ask to talk, and we'll arrange a time to do so. I really hope you're interested in enabling this opportunity for your child. If the finances concern you, please do not let that stop you. Simply speak to myself, and we will come to an arrangement together. At Meadows, we're committed to enabling all to aspire, grow, and flourish, and we don't want the price to prevent that for any of our children. So I look forward to seeing the booking forms flood in. I look forward to seeing the children make us proud on the camp night as they head ever closer to their year 6 in our school. And I hope you found this information of support. Thank you, everybody. And any questions, don't hesitate to ask.